Good morning.
Good morning.
We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yes.
You are knowing what you are wanting? Eager to take thought beyond that which it has been before?
Yes.
And eager to keep up with it while you do it? Eager to be aware of who you really are? To appreciate your physical perspective for all that it adds to all that is? Ready to focus your mind deliberately for the purpose of vibrational blending with the larger part of you? Ready to continue with the intention that you held even before your physical birth, to come into the physical environment and experience its perfect, balanced contrast for the purpose of coming to your own personal new decisions. Yes? You like remembering that you can be saying, no, don't come to me, I want not that, at the same time that you're vibrationally saying, since I'm giving my undivided attention to you, you thing, you person, you situation, you condition that I do not want, my attention to you is a choice that I'm making vibrationally. Even though if I were to stop and think about it, if I were to be given multiple choices, I would not choose you, but my attention to you does choose you. You like knowing that? We like you knowing that. We like you knowing that this is an attraction-based universe, which means it's an inclusion-based universe, which means you get what you give your attention to. You get what you practice most with your thoughts. You get the vibrational essence of how you predominantly feel. Do you accept that when you sleep, that you become one with the source within you?
Yes.
And do you accept that a part of your consciousness, the same part of your consciousness that was born into this physical body to begin with, is the part of you that wakes up in your physical body when you awaken in the morning? And do you accept that vibrationally speaking, there is the potential of two very different vantage points? So, did you follow us when we say that when you wake up in the vibration that you went to sleep in? So if something's been going on and you are ornery and irritated and you go to sleep and just out of exhaustion you sleep, when you wake up, even though your physical apparatus has rested, your vibration will pick up right where you left off. So if you go to sleep out of the vortex, you wake up out of the vortex. And so the dreams that you dream are indications of what you're doing vibrationally. So are you following that? Is it pretty easy to understand, knowing what you know about the aspects of you? Now consider this. You're going to like this. So as you slumber and the larger part of you reemerges into non-physical, what do you think happens to the cells of your body? Do the cells of your body release all resistance while you sleep? What do you think?
Yes.
Well, they don't release all resistance, but they do a lot better job of releasing resistance than you do with your conscious mind, because the cells of your body don't hold grudges. In other words, it's sort of like the beasts of your planet. Your animals are not as creative as you humans. They are also much less resistant. So humans are much better at sifting through contrast and launching desires than the animals of your planet are. But the animals are much more likely to be in the vortex. So the cells of your body are more like the beasts of your planet. They are not holding grudges. That's why recovery from illness is often associated with slumber. That's why people often go into comas and recover from things otherwise. In other words, your physical apparatus really gets a head start on reclaiming vibrational balance every night that you sleep. So imagine this process. Imagine having a day that's not all that great, but getting in bed and deliberately trying to withdraw your thoughts from what was bothering you and focus upon something that you can bask about, like maybe even the comfort of your bed. And imagine falling to sleep as best you can in a sort of more basking perspective, and then slumbering where you withdraw consciousness from this physical apparatus and time-space reality. And then awakening in the morning and deliberately, and it's not hard to do, reclaiming the basking that you were in before you went to sleep and taking it further by working on some things that you appreciate. Then getting out of bed, and we'll do some focus wheels here today, doing a focus wheel or two to clean up some vibration that has been sort of raw and ragged, and then moving into a list of positive aspects and getting on a rampage of appreciation, and then moving into your day. Now, follow us here. Then the next night, doing the same, and the next night, doing the same, and the next night, doing the same. Within a very short time, far less than 30 days, we're not kidding you even a little, you could release the majority of resistance that you've been harboring, and anything that was not sitting right in your physical apparatus. In other words, you would give the cells of your body the perfect vibrational culture in which to find perfect balance, just with that one simple process. Because it is only the awakening the next morning and the returning to resistant thought that keeps your cells from reclaiming their complete balance even in one night's sleep. You following? Yep. A few nights of deliberately releasing resistance and then going into slumber and giving the cells of your body all of that time to find their balance. And then another night of releasing resistance and going into slumber. But here's the thing. Every night you do that, but every morning you undo it. That's what's happening with most people. Every night your cells find their balance, and then you remember what was bothering you the day before. So you are literally reestablishing resistance every time you come back into consciousness. Isn't that interesting? Nice to know. It puts this wellness concept in a whole new place, doesn't it? So when you come to a gathering like this, we assume, we know, you come because you want to become more deliberate in your point of attraction. Because that's what creating is. Creating is attracting. Creating is adjusting your vibration for what it will attract. It's adjusting your point of attraction. It's not about getting good at identifying and going after. It's about getting good at identifying and practicing the vibration of wanted rather than not wanted. And the two work so well together because every time your life experience shows you something that you personally consider to be a problem, in precisely the same moment of your awareness of the problem, an equivalent solution is born. Some say, well, where is it? And we say, well, it's a vibrational solution. It's a thought. It's an energy. It's a vibration you can feel. It's something that you can know with your emotion that you may not be able to justify through your vision of how it is unfolding. In other words, you're accustomed to noticing what is in this reality that you call reality. I can see it. I can hear it. I have physical senses that define it. So I can easily define the problem. And when the solution shows up, I will easily be able to define the solution. I know what the cure to polio now is. But what we want you to understand is that there is a solution that precedes all manifestation that is, as far as we are concerned, as we stand over here in your vortex of creation, in your vibrational reality, there is a solution that is already here. And while you can't see it, you can know it. So we'll be talking today about anything that you want to talk about. We're eager to talk about whatever it is. But we want to give you fair warning that we have complete awareness of what you have already amassed over here in your, what we are calling vibrational reality. What we are calling this vortex of creation, where all things that match your desire have been assembled. All cooperative components have been assembled. The question is, are you a cooperative component? And if you're worried about something, if you're frustrated about something, as Esther thinks back, the few times that her mind moved in the direction of where they were parking the bus, she has to acknowledge that she thought about it from the I know what I don't want standpoint no more than she did I know what I do want. They're also under an acorn tree. More machine gun fire. And so when they go to move the bus, it's necessary that they find a ladder taller than any one you've ever seen to climb up on top of the bus to sweep off the extended rooms, because they can't bring them in when there are nuts on the top of the bus. So as Esther is hearing the nuts falling, she is remembering how much she didn't like hearing them falling last time. And she is remembering how specific she was about not wanting to be under the falling nut tree again. And she is remembering that she had the experience, didn't like most of it, got in the bus and drove away and never thought about it again until she returned. In other words, no effort whatsoever about cleaning up vibration. Just living it, complaining about it, not liking it, feeling the injustice of it, threatening to cut the tree down herself. It's a really big tree. And then driving away, not returning to that thought vibration, but leaving it right where it was, waiting for her. So the people who are establishing the new assignment are inspired by the power of her vibration to put her right there on that spot where she belongs. There's no injustice ever, is there? So we've been playing with this for a while. We've been talking about this vortex of creation. And we've been telling you that when you have negative emotion, you're not in the vortex. And when you feel positive emotion, you are in the vortex. In other words, the better you feel, the more you are in vibrational sync with who you really are. So Esther's really been thinking about this every spare moment. She's been thinking about, Abraham says that this vortex of creation, where they stand and where the larger part of me is and where everything I want is, Abraham says that is present tense for them. But me in my physical form, who is used to looking for what's manifested that others can see, historically documented, pigeonholed and cataloged, I'm used to calling this present tense. But Abraham says this is past tense from their point of view. And so then Esther says, oh, I'm going to get my thoughts around this. I'm going to see what's in that vortex. So she began visualizing, trying to imagine it. And we said, Esther, if you will not try so hard to see what you cannot yet translate with your eyes, if you will feel it, if you will feel for it, rather than need to make it the physical reality that can be seen, feel for it. So how does that translate? Well, feel for the well-being of your physical body rather than the visual. That's all right. If you can see the visual, good for you. But if when you reach for the visual, you see what is, it's not helpful. There is never, ever an injustice that is done, ever, 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 ever. But there are plenty of times that you get something different than what you want. But when you get something different from what you want, it's not because an injustice has occurred. It's because you've got a different dominant vibration than your own desire. Don't you love knowing that? Not so much.